Hi, I'm Cade Batchelor. I play baseball at Maryville, and this is No Playbook Podcast.
Hey, thanks for checking out the show. It's the podcast that features the outstanding athletes, coaches, and experts from the sports world here in East Tennessee. Past episodes include interviews with Joshua Dobbs, Monica Abbott, Tony Vitello, so many greats. Today, I've got another stellar high school athlete from Maryville High School, Cade Batchelor, baseball player, committed to Belmont. We talk about this season with the Rebels, his overall recruiting experience, and he tells his greatest sports memories. Let's get to Cade right after this. Sit tight.
D1 Training is the place for the athlete, and we've got a brand new facility about to open in Blount County. With classes starting as young as 7 years old, D1 can help everyone take their game to the next level. Our 5-star training system comes straight from Division I strength and conditioning programs. At D1, we offer personal training, team training, youth development programs, adult boot camp classes, and much more. Learn more about D1 Hardin Valley and our introductory founders rate for the new Blount County facility by following us on social media and visiting D1training.com.
Set here. I like the Belmont gear.
Thank you.
Showing up ready to represent. That's nice.
Yes, sir.
How about this this day here in East Tennessee? Did you get out and enjoy the weather?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've been outside. I was shooting some basketball, and then yesterday I was able to get to downtown Knoxville and enjoy it some. So it's been perfect. Not a cloud in the sky. So
Yeah. I got to take my wife. She's never been to a Tennessee baseball game, so we went yesterday.
that's awesome. Yeah, I was around the area, and it was packed after the game and stuff, just people leaving. But I didn't get a chance to go. But I'm going to go soon. I haven't been to a Tennessee game this year, but I'm going to go to the Belmont, Tennessee one. I think it's like
When
May
is that?
14th or something like that.
Is it a Tuesday?
I think so. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like one of the Tuesday games. Belmont's had a pretty good team the past few years, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I know they were pretty good in the OVC, and then they switched to MVC last year, and they struggled a little bit. And then this year they're hanging around 500 overall. I think they're a little bit above 500 right now. So
Yeah,
uh,
that's gonna be fun though, getting to go to those like Tuesday games when those kind of schools go and play big time
right,
SEC schools or whomever.
right. Yes, sir.
Um, by the way, so before we get started, I was looking at your stuff on Instagram and I was messaging you. And my wife kind of peered over. She goes, "Oh, what is your girlfriend's name?
Finley
Finley?"
Gentry.
Yeah.
Yes,
She
sir.
was like, "I think that's her." And she's like, so she taught her in first grade, I think.
Yes, sir. We were just talking about the like right before this. I was talking with her and her mom, and she was showing me pictures from her when she was in first grade, and she was talking about how Miss Beam that she called her, I think.
Miss Beeman, yeah.
Miss Beam was her favorite teacher.
Oh, great.
So she
Well, that's
loved
good.
her.
Well, she was like, yeah, she was a real sweet kid. So that's funny. It's funny where that part of her career too, where like kids that she had in kindergarten or first grade are like about to go off to college.
Right.
That that
Yes, sir.
happens. So tell me about this season at Maryville.
So right now we're getting down to the final 2 weeks, I think, of our regular season. We got two more district games left. We got West tomorrow night, and then that's all we play district this week, and then we got Bearden to close it out. So we really need to get the win tomorrow night. I know they got one of their guys on the mound that he's caused some other teams to struggle. I think he pitched good against Hardin Valley and caused them some problems, which Hardin Valley was able to win. But I'm pretty sure they're throwing him. And then if we win that and Bearden beat us 4-2 at their place, if we can get a win against Bearden and Hardin Valley beats Bearden tomorrow night, I think we'll get the 3 seed. Which the 3 seed would be big because I heard somebody talking. I think that may have something to do with us not having to play Farragut in the district tournament, which would be to our advantage.
Yeah, you always want to avoid them in the playoffs.
Right.
Um,
Definitely.
we've done a lot of work with a lot of those kids, and then even from you mentioned Bearden, Brooks Wright. Um, he does a lot with us. He was on the podcast about a year ago, actually.
Yeah, Brooks. I grew up playing with him for BCN. I played with a bunch of the Farragut guys growing up too. I remember I talked to you about that some at the Blunt Chamber, but all of us grew up playing together. So
Yeah, that's
it's pretty
great.
cool how that works out.
So I love hearing stories about recruiting and kind of what that whole experience is like. Talk about what led you to deciding to go ahead and commit to Belmont.
Yes, sir. Gosh, the recruiting journey was a long one. Um, it was definitely something that towards the end I was ready to just find the school that felt like home. And from the beginning, I started off, say, sophomore year, talking to my dad about it, and we would try to send out emails to schools, just try to get interest here, film some videos, and just try to get them sent off to the schools. And you'd send a ton of emails out and hear back from maybe a few. And from there, from the few that you hear back from, you try to build a relationship with them. And I got a little bit of interest from some mid-major schools, stuff like that. And it felt like I kept getting like right to the point where they would come watch me or something, or I go to a camp and they'd really like me. And I was just never able to get to the point where I was getting offered. And it was so frustrating to me because I felt like I was putting so much work in, just reaching out to them and finally getting to come watch me and say maybe it just didn't go my way or something, or I just didn't play as good as I wanted to. So um, then comes my junior season when I get hurt, and that put a lot of stress on me because I know it's getting down to crunch time with recruiting, which I know there's still people committing now, but that's when you really got to start getting your recruitment up the junior season into the junior summer. So I
Real
missed
quick,
pretty
Cade,
much.
if I might ask you, pause you real quick. I'm curious when you talk about those guys that would come watch you. Did you ever get any feedback on like what are things that they were looking for that they didn't see in that particular game? Do they tell you that, or do they just be like, no thanks?
I never got any. I wouldn't say I got specifics. It would just be more like they would still reach out to me, but it just wasn't as much. It just almost kind of getting ghosted, like just less contact and communication. I mean, I was able to figure out on my own that I just didn't play as good as I wanted to, and they kept watching me. Maybe I put too much pressure on myself, and I just didn't live up to what I want to do.
Was there a final kind of deciding factor that led you to Belmont, or was it just timing?
So I was I was planning on most likely I was going to end up trying to go to Cleveland State where um, one of my friend's brother goes. He plays there. I don't know if you know who he is, Riley Orr, and he played at Maryville 2 years ago, and he loves it up there. And I met the coaches. I love them. They were all super nice. Um, so I had my sights set on there, but I had gotten some interest from Belmont and Lipscomb, and I was going to go check those schools out. I went to a camp. I went to a camp that I didn't even want to go to. It was just another showcase camp ran through our organization at BC. And my dad was like, "You really need to go to this." And I went, and Lipscomb was supposed to be there, but they didn't end up showing up. But I didn't know Belmont was there. And I ended up doing pretty good. And they reached out to me after and told me they wanted to get me on campus soon. And at the time, it was kind of like Belmont. They're a little bit out of our price range. Um, but I was able to get up on campus, see everything. Beautiful school, one of the prettiest schools I've ever seen in my life. Got to talk to some of the players and got to meet the coaches. I love the coaching staff, especially Coach Jarvis and Coach Steen. And then they have a guy that played in the MLB a few years ago, Coach Craig. He's a little bit younger, so he's the one that guided us around most of the time. Really great group of guys, and I just like the vision they have for their program and the direction. And they sat down and talked to me, and it was just something I couldn't pass up. Um, kind of gave my parents that look, and they gave me the nod to tell me to go for it, and I committed right there on the spot.
Well, that's great. I love to hear those kind of stories. I always hear Belmont associated with a great music program. Is there anything specific like non-athletic that you're looking forward to with the school? Like have you picked a major?
I think I'm gonna lean towards something in the business department. I'm not sure exactly what I do to build off of that, but I talked to some of the coaches there, and they said they might have a an internship that I could do with the guy they know down there. just something in the business field, which I think would be really cool. Also, since I was little, I've always told my parents I want to live in a big city, and Nashville, Nashville definitely being a bigger city that played into my choice.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, what about like non-base, not necessarily baseball practice? Is there any other kind of athletic training that you do?
Usually, I try to go to the weight room. I have a membership that I go to. In the off season, I try to go every single day if possible. It's a little bit different in season, especially after coming off last year when I had an injury and I was hitting it pretty hard before the season started. Just trying to manage it this year and stay healthy and just try to stay the course and finish the season out. But I like to work out a lot on my own. I'll go and just lift. And then baseball wise, outside of practice, I'll go and I'll hit with my dad. Just any chance we'll get, I'll just get in there in the cage and have him throw to me. Just try to get some variability. And then my friend, he has a barn, a big barn that has a cage in it, and we'll go in there and he'll shoot the machine. We'll shoot it to each other.
That's cool. We're obviously very excited about opening up D1 training in Blount County. So
Yes,
especially
sir.
with all the baseball guys we've worked with, we take full credit for all the success that Ben Joyce and Zach Joyce have had. Um, I, I like to say that's all D1 when he throws like 105 strikes.
Right.
It's not him at all. No, no, no. It's the trainers. But yeah, we've had a lot of good success with a lot of baseball folks. So I'm really hoping that we can get that kind of pipeline going in the Blount County area once we open up here in just a few weeks. Um,
Yes, sir.
yeah, but what about so now that NIL is a thing, I like to ask folks because it's such a new thing. Younger kids are getting the opportunity to like meet seemingly athletic heroes. Is there anybody, if NIL was a thing when you were younger, is there somebody that like you would have done anything to meet this guy, get an autograph, something
Ooh,
like that?
that's tough. I'm a huge Tennessee football fan, so maybe growing up when I was younger, say 2016ish, to get an autograph from Jawan Jennings would have been pretty sick, especially after he made that big Hail Mary catch against Georgia. It would have been sick to get an autograph from him.
Like, yeah, I was actually at a golf tournament with him on Friday.
Oh,
Um, yeah, Joshua Dobbs had his golf tournament at Tennessee National, and as you can imagine, Jennings is there every year.
of course,
So,
of
of course,
course.
now they're teammates too.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Uh,
That's awesome.
in San Francisco. Being a Tennessee football fan, you would have loved this. It's there's like so many like all-time greats that are at this golf tournament, and it's just Dobbs doing his fundraiser, raising money for his Astro Ordinary Foundation. So, um, anyway, that's a lot of fun. You play golf?
I tried to get into golf my junior year, say the fall of my junior year. I was not good at it, and I would go and play with my friends some. But gosh, golf is so expensive just to go and play, and I just wasn't good enough. And I just, I was like, I'm just going to focus on baseball. I felt like it was starting to mess up my swing. Maybe if I was a PO or something like that, I go and try to play more golf. But it's just so hard to play around with my swing after trying to play golf. So
Yeah,
it's not
it's
even
very
worth it.
different swing too.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Now what about oh yeah, I was gonna mention we've got a couple Tennessee guys coming for an NIL event in a couple weeks. It's Hunter Inslee and Billy Amick. And I think these are cool because they're gonna like do a baseball clinic and then sign autographs and stuff. And just for, 8, 9, 10-year-old kids, that's like a opportunity of a lifetime. So we're
Yes, sir.
excited
That's a
about
big
that.
deal.
Did you do sports around here in Blount County as a kid?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I played basketball growing up along with baseball. I love basketball so much, but it got to the point where there's just so much trying to juggle, especially as I got older, and I really fell in love with baseball, and I decided it's what I really wanted to do. I played school basketball, and then I got into a little bit of AAU around sixth, seventh grade year, and then I ended up having my first back injury, which was I think eighth grade year, and that's when I decided I was just going to scrap basketball and just stick with baseball. And then I'd say around fourth, fifth grade. I think I played some flag football a little bit in there with some of the guys that play at Farragut and stuff like that. We all had a team together. I think Brennan Siegler's dad, was the coach of our team, and also I got into a little bit of volleyball at K2. So
Nice.
try to mix it up a little bit. My sister played volleyball when she was growing up, so I just wanted to give it a try. But volleyball's fun.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I was at the facility a little earlier today, and it's a Sunday, um, and it was still packed with all those K2 volleyball young ladies.
I believe it. I
Yeah,
believe it.
yeah. But so yeah, so their facility. I mean, the facility's enormous, and K2 takes up like 80% of it. But then D1's got a spot in there, so we're looking forward to it. And we still get a lot of D1 action from Blount County, like folks from Maryville and Alcoa driving up to the Hardin Valley location. But I think this will be pretty cool to have one so close. Um, Something I've been asking folks: is there anything that you think very few people know about you?
That's a tough one. I feel like, kind of going off the football thing, baseball actually is not my favorite sport. Football is my favorite sport. I wanted to play football for so long growing up, and I almost gave in and decided to play football my senior year. Coach Hunt and some of those guys kind of came and talked to me and wanted me to come play. And I was so close to deciding and being like, yeah, I want to play football. But just on top of my junior season missing that, I just didn't want to risk having another injury and having to miss my senior season of baseball. And then on top of that, my dad played football in high school at William Blunt, and he blew out his knee. So I talked to him about that, and he's just like, I just don't think it's worth it. But which stinks because my dad got me into football when I was young, just always talking about it because he was a diehard UT fan, went to the national championship, the '98 season, and just always there. And then my best friend, he has season tickets, so any chance I get, I'm trying to get in there on Saturdays.
Yeah. Are your folks from around here too?
Yes, sir.
They go to Maryville?
No, they went to William Blunt.
Oh, okay. You just told me that.
Yeah, pretty much everybody in my family went to William Blunt. Even my sister went to William Blunt, but I switched over my fourth grade year because I wanted to get a chance to play for Coach Sully in high school.
Oh, got it. Yeah, that's great. So, what elementary school or was it intermediate school you moved over to?
I was at Carpenter's Elementary. Third grade was my last year there, and then I transferred over to Montgomery Ridge Intermediate.
Got it. Got it. I see what you're saying. So how about this? Share one unforgettable sports memory, and I make it clear. Like some folks share one that's a as a spectator, or it could be one as an athlete.
All right, can I do one for both? I can keep it
Yeah.
short.
What the hey?
All right. So also going off the football stories, I last year, well, 2 years ago, I got the chance. Tennessee played Florida, which I didn't get to go to the Alabama game, which I'm still salty about. But Tennessee played Florida, and they did College Game Day, and I went and spent the night with some of my friends, and we got up. I don't even know if you can call it a sleepover. We slept like 1 hour, get up at like 1 a.m., head over to Knoxville, and we find a place to park and get over there to Ayers Hall. Everybody has their sleeping bags out. There's already tons of students standing out there, but we find a place to lay down on the grass and get some sleep. And we wake up and we got to do College Game Day, which was pretty cool. Just that atmosphere, seeing all those people there and stuff like that. Just after watching on TV so many times. And then after doing the vol walk and just walking around and just being in there the whole day. And then Tennessee ended up getting a big win against them. I think it was 38-33 or something like that. But it's just definitely a day I'll never forget as a
That was
spectator.
a night
But
game too,
as a,
right?
I think it was a 3:30 CBS kick.
Got it.
And then as an athlete, it was my freshman year. We played at William Blunt, and I wasn't in the starting lineup that game, but I was in relief as a pitcher. And my coach just kept making sure that I was ready to go in. It was probably the fourth, fifth inning I got to go in, which I'm a freshman, and this was the first time I ever got to play William Blunt, which is where I've had multiple people in my family played for William Blunt baseball and stuff like that. And so it was a pretty big deal to me getting to play against them. and it was a close game. It was a really good game, and it came down to the wire. We were up by one with they had run around third with two outs in the bottom of the seventh, and it was their three hole that came up, and I think he was a junior, or a senior, and I ended up striking him out to win the game, and it's just such a surreal moment for me, just getting to beat them like that.
As a
Just
freshman too.
right, right, yeah.
Was that still
But
when
that's
freshmen were at the junior high?
yes, sir. Yeah,
That's gotta be pretty cool. Like I don't even go to the high school really, and still I'm
right,
coming and making a difference.
right. Yes, sir.
Excellent. Cade, what are your ultimate like baseball dreams?
Yes, sir. My dream is to make it to the MLB one day. Just getting to play at a D1 school is just one of the steps on the way to get there. Just trying to get there and develop and somehow find my way to pro ball or just get drafted somehow. That's my ultimate dream.
You got a lot of bracelets here. What are all these?
Oh gosh, I started collecting these my sophomore year. Some of them don't even say stuff anymore. One of them used to say "Jesus loves you." This one I have no clue. Actually, no. It One of the trainers in our dugout gave it to me in the middle of one game. It says "Impossible is nothing." This green one has nothing on it. This black one right here is a breast cancer one from my mom, which she's done with breast cancer now, and then my grandmother, which they both don't have it anymore, thankfully. And then I just got some other Maryville ones on this wrist, so just
Yeah.
started collecting them. I never take them off.
Cool, man. All right, dude. Well, thank you so much for this, and I really appreciate it. I'll tag you in that stuff when it's ready to go.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, dude. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
See ya.